Right, so we're just going to put the microphone over to a few builders and ask them what they think about this incredible CLT XLAM product and how they think it's going to be taken in the building industry. So I'll hand it over to the boys and we'll ask them some questions.
My initial thoughts is that it's an unbelievable product. I was amazed at how clean it is in regards to the lines and the connection points. When I heard about how quickly it went up, it was unbelievable to understand the efficiencies and the speed of that. And I think a lot of that has to do also with the job that Duayne and his team did in the planning aspect of that, so getting that plan in place, and then whenever it was delivered, having a structured idea as to how it was going to be put up was probably key. And then looking around at it, it's just phenomenal whenever you take a look at the angles and the lines. It's very meticulous. And if you're a fan of wood and timber, like we are at Brett's, I can't fault it. The way I see it going is that people who have tighter blocks and tighter sites and accesses, this is going to be a really great opportunity for them if they plan it efficiently like Duayne and his team did. But looking at this product here, I can't see how it's not going to be something that's going to be booming and in the future. When you talk about noise, to have the noise not transfer from room to room, you could hear it when Duayne was talking to the group. Even with the guys working downstairs, there was minimal noise reflecting through the property. And I can only imagine that with summer and winter, it's probably going to be exceptional when it comes to the insulation as well.
Yeah, it's excellent seeing the CLT exposed and just having the whole house in mass timber. Obviously that saves a lot of energy and carbon in the product. And it's just the quality of finishes as well that is really nice. I currently got my own house under construction using a glue-lam, both glue-lam beams made from Queensland spotted gum and CLT. If I would have my chance again, I would definitely now design my own house in CLT. And any future house I work on, we are considering CLT for construction.
Yeah, my initial thoughts on the CLT panels, unreal, just the construction method and how quick they can go together. I think that's the way of the future. Like we've seen here, as soon as it's stood up and the panels are installed, you're pretty much onto internal works as well. So it's a lot quicker construction overall than the standard sort of stud framing. Yeah, I think we'll see a lot more of this as the whole process gets refined and it becomes a little bit more efficient, more cost effective, I suppose. I think it's going to become really, really popular, yeah.
Initial thoughts are not being exposed to a lot of this type of building before, so quite impressed with how it's all gone together. I think the future of the industry is probably going to be down this path because it just seems like it's the most efficient way to get materials built and constructed on site, and with the environmental effects and impacts, I think that's probably where it's going to go. So I think, listening to the presentation today by Duayne, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, this is probably something I need to get involved with a little bit more than what I might have given it credit for in the past. The traditional ways of building, there's disruption everywhere, so the traditional ways of construction are starting to merge into this, prefab space, and now, in the residential area. So I think, for builders to stay ahead of the game, this is where we've got to be looking.
Well, prefabrication is definitely the way to go. This is definitely the future of what's going to happen. Obviously, there's new systems in place. It's got a bit of development around acceptance in the industry, so workplace health and safety wise, but this is definitely the way it's going to go. We're looking at a few buildings and doing it, and I think this is absolutely going to take off.
I've been pretty impressed with it. To have a wander around the house today and have a look at number one, the work that goes into putting it together, and two, the quality of the finish of it. That's probably the main things that have sort of stood out to me. I think certainly there is a future for it in the industry. I think we've got to start looking at more sustainable ways of building homes. Being in the renovation market, I'm pretty interested to see what the future is with the products, around how it ties into an existing property, and from a design perspective, how architects and designers are able to incorporate it into an existing home.
Well, actually, when I looked at the CLT paneling, I actually thought it was really a good looking panel. I'm actually very much into timber as a carpenter, so the look of it looks amazing, and I think it's a great idea to show the visual part of it. I think it's very sustainable, and that they were really impressed by how much they reduce the waste by using every part of the tree and the timber that they use. So I was very impressed by that. I think it's got a lot of potential here, especially in Queensland with the different temperatures. Wood can obviously withstand those sort of changes, and I think it's something that we should see a lot more coming through the building industry.
The CO2 panelling, I think, is an awesome product. Being involved in this, I feel, was a real pleasure, helping Duayne get the first part of this set up. I think that it's got a lot of potential coming down the track in the future. It'll be the way things will go. One of my reasons that I wanted to come down and help the setup of this job was to have opportunity down the track to understand and know more about it so that we could utilise it. I also brought a couple of my boys down to help out, and if the opportunity arises, we'd be more than happy to have a go and put one of these projects up and utilise it and showcase it for the future for our own work as well.
It's great to finally see it in the flesh. I did have some chats with the engineers down at XLAM back in 2019 because I was interested in this method of building. So yeah, no, it's definitely something I would look forward to doing in the future. It's yeah, I love timber, so I love the process of everything being sort of in panels with the subfloor and the roof especially. Yeah, I find building subfloors like joist bearer construction can be a bit time consuming, and having a whole platform that you can just crane in and screw down will save a lot of time.
I think this is the way of the future. The laminated panels look brilliant. Whether you cover them or whether you actually leave them as a feature, I think leaving them as a feature and coating them in probably something like Q-Tech would be awesome. I can hardly wait to see how this comes up as the fine detail goes in. But at the moment, I think it's an amazing project. This timber and this type of construction, you know, it's the way of the future.